The first time I watched it, I was mad. I was so mad watching it because within like the first 20 minutes, 20 30 minutes, there were so many things that were added to it and this remastered shenanigans to make it more, I guess, relatable to the times or to just like what they feel enhanced it. It irked me so much.
Just
Like,
George has to change
oh,
shit all the
I I had so many like gripes when I had to rewatch this, and so now every time I go to rewatch it, I have to like hold my composure because it just irritates me so much that I will never be able to actually watch the original cut anymore, probably, unless I find someone with a VCR and I can pray to all the gods that the tape inside the VCR tape or the VHS tapes are not like going to disintegrate.
A long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away, a little show called The Commentary Booth, where we watch, and you guessed it, commentate on the week that was in movies and TV, was established. And today, we're still right here. I'm your host and play-by-play commentator, Jamie Apps, and each week I'm joined by a rotating cast of colour commentators to help you find your next viewing treat. This week, I'm joined by an impact fee technician who lists their favourite movie as A Nightmare on Elm Street and favourite TV show as Golden Girls. Welcome back to the show, Corrina Mabey.
Hello. Happy New Year. Yay. Woo. Insert audience applause. Woo.
Okay, we're off to a great start for 2026.
And nothing's changed. I don't know why you thought anything was going to be completely different. Like, I'm still a train wreck. So, your show is a train wreck every time I'm on it. You could say I'm like a bounty hunter. I feel like if reviewing the movie that we're reviewing, I feel like if that were made nowadays with a better, or like less red tape, people would have a lot more colorful of language.
Yeah, probably. But let's go less bounty hunter, more stormtrooper.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. They can't hit anything.
So on that front, this week we are kicking off our 50th anniversary series rewatch and review of the Star Wars series, beginning with Episode 4, A New Hope. We are beginning here because it is the true and correct order to rewatch this series.
Yes.
That is the release order, not any other chronological, this mishmash one where you jump all over the place order. No. We will start here, Episode 4, and continue on, like I said, in release order for all of the films in the franchise. Each and every month we will return to break down every film in the franchise. We're doing this because the original cut of A New Hope will return to cinemas early next year, 2027, to commemorate the 50th anniversary. This film was released in February of 1977 and follows Luke Skywalker as he joins forces with a Jedi Knight, a cocky pilot, and a Wookiee, and two droids to save the galaxy from the Empire's world-destroying battle station, while also attempting to rescue Princess Leia from the mysterious Darth Vader, starring, looking back at it,
So many
an
people.
incredible cast now. Mark Hamill, Harrison Ford, Carrie Fisher, Peter Cushing, Alec Guinness, Anthony Daniels, Kenny Baker, Peter Mayhew, James Earl Jones. Just crazy
So many
cast,
people.
if you look back on it now. At the time, there was a lot of kind of somewhat unknowns, but
Yeah.
crazy now.
Yeah, like you have like this like group of misfits, essentially like misfit actors who really are just getting their feet wet in the acting business, and then they went on to be in like such crazy and insane, they had such insane careers afterwards. And the fact that I feel like most of them, um their career, like unfortunately some of them, their careers ended while revisiting this franchise later on, which is really cool. Like it's your start and your end of your career kind of. And like I feel, as weird as it, I feel like Harrison Ford probably got like the most out of this franchise because he went on to do not just this franchise but the Indiana Jones franchise too. So he had like two ginormous things under his belt that I think just were insane for him.
Well, yeah, this film was pre-indie
Yep.
Indiana Jones,
Yeah.
because it's a funny story on how the whole Indiana Jones franchise developed. as well, because so George Lucas was sure that this film, A New Hope, was going to flop. So he didn't attend the premiere. Instead, he went on vacation in Hawaii with Steven Spielberg, which during that trip, they came up with the idea for Indiana Jones and the Raiders of the Lost Ark,
Which is fantastic.
which then, yeah, spun off and gave Harrison Ford perhaps two of the biggest franchises of all time.
Yeah, and they were pretty much back to back. Like, it was, he had Star Wars and then he had Indiana Jones, and then like it was just, rinse and repeat because Indy came out for so long and then they released these ones. So it was kind of just like at the same time frame. And then the same thing happened with
Yeah,
the Indy
he pretty
franchise
much
where
didn't
they
have to do
rebooted
anything else.
Yeah, and then they rebooted Indy and they rebooted Star Wars. So it was like he never left those two characters ever. Like, sure, he did some small things here and there, but that was insane that that literally became his life. Like, that is his career, is just those two characters.
Yeah. A couple of the other fun facts that I wrote down was so George Lucas accepted a lower salary for this movie in exchange for full merchandising and sequel rights to the franchise, which at the time was looked at as the dumbest idea in the world. Everyone's
Now look
like,
at
you're
him.
an idiot, because in the 70s when movies were, like, if they had any sort of merchandise like toys and stuff, it was always a really long time before the movie came out and then the toys.
Yeah.
So by the time the toys came around, they were kind of not cool anymore.
Mm-hmm.
But Star Wars changed that, and it was like movie, and then the toys were there ready to go, basically.
Yeah.
So by the time George ended up selling Lucasfilm to Disney in 2012,
Yeah.
the merchandise alone from the first 6 films generated tens of billions of dollars.
Yeah, it's insane. Like, it was the smartest career choice he could have ever made. Like, that was genius. Like, looking back, sure, people were probably just like, what were you doing, bro? But in the long run, that was probably the smartest business decision he could have ever made. Like,
It's almost like
bonkers.
I believe it was Matt Damon was offered the lead role in the Avatar movies,
Okay.
and Cameron wanted him so badly that he offered him like 1 or 2 percentage points of the gross
That's
for the film
insane.
and the franchise, and he turned it down.
Yeah.
And now he looks at it and goes, that was the worst business decision of my entire career.
Yeah, that's insane because that would have kept him busy for so long. Because, like, look at Zoe Saldana. She's like done Avatar in between doing Guardians and Marvel
Well,
things,
even if he only did the first movie and just took the 2% gross,
and called it a day. Would have been
it's
insane.
more money than he's probably ever been paid on a single film.
Yeah, that's nuts. It's crazy how there's so many other things that go into a movie release and like numbers for movies. It's not just what it does in the box office. Star Wars, I feel sure the box office at the time it came out, like I don't think anybody really expected it to do what it did, but it was the first of its kind, really, and I think that's why it probably blew up because everybody was just insane with how crazy and unique and new it was. And then everything turned upside down when it came to franchises, like the sequels, the merchandise, everything. And then when Disney bought it, it was even more insane because I started working at Disney in 2012 and I was there for the merger when it happened, and everybody I worked with lost their ever living minds. Like, Star Tours was always at Hollywood Studios. Like, I grew up going on that ride, and there was always Star Wars weekends, but they never had the full rights to it. And so then when the merger happened, forget it. Like, sky's the limit at that point, and everybody, all of the cast, all of us, we were just absolutely like insane and filled with like craze essentially over the Star Wars thing happening.
Yeah, like the Hollywood Studios park now is essentially Star
Star
Wars.
Wars. Yeah, because it used to just be because well, now that you've been there and you've seen it in its entirety, so it used to just be the Star Tours ride, which is the one that made you horribly sick, the simulator one with like the Ewok village, and that was it. And the when I was growing up, there was just one option for that ride. Now there's like multiple endings for it and stuff like that. But originally, the original thing was that you were supposed to actually blow up the Death Star, which is really cool. It was like you're in the chair, and now it's just spun out to an entire land at Hollywood Studios, and you have a full scale Millennium Falcon, and you have Olga's Cantina, which is really cool. So it is insane to see how far this franchise has come since that merger and since it originally released.
And you mentioned sort of the box office as well. So the budget for this one was $11 million. Do you have any idea of what the box office currently stands at?
No, but I'm presuming it's in the billions probably now.
$775.4 million.
Okay, well, close
And
enough.
that probably doesn't include like all of the home release figures as well.
Yeah, or like even like I look at it and like for me, when I think of Star Wars, I don't just think of this movie, like not just the movies, but I look at the franchise as a whole and the licensing as a whole because now you have spin-off series, you had these standalone movies that came out, and obviously you've got the
All the
all the
toys.
toys, all the merchandise. The only thing I think that they failed with on Star Wars is, and it was kind of just Disney trying to experiment, and I think they pushed it too far, was when they opened up the hotel that was the Star Wars themed hotel. I even forget what I was talking. I forget what it was called now. The um,
The
Galactic
yeah,
Star Cruiser.
yeah, that's it. It
That's
looked
it.
cool.
It looked
I
really
think it was
cool.
just. I think the price was the problem with that.
Yeah, that's probably the only thing that I feel like really put like a not even like a huge debt. I mean, yes, Disney spent a ton of money on that. They socked a ton of money into that project and lost a bunch. But I feel like that's the only negative space really for the whole franchise and the license as a whole is just that one hiccup. Because now they've
Yeah,
incorporated
like
Star Wars onto their cruise ships now. So I mean
yeah,
it's all
like
over.
I think that Galactic Star Tours like hotel looked awesome. Like it
Sure.
looked real like a really cool experience.
Yeah, the concept was
It
awesome.
it was just the price was unachievable for
Outrageous.
almost anyone.
Yeah, it was outrageous. It was meant for the elite, and that's the problem. Is that like I feel like that's unfortunately that's how some of the Disney products have gone to now. Is
I
just
was gonna
it's
say
for like a
that's
elite
Disney
people.
these days.
Yeah, yeah. So it's not everybody can enjoy it, and unfortunately, the fan base for Star Wars is not the elite people. They are nerds who make most of them are nerds who make minimum wage and who are lucky enough to be able to ever go to Disney at least once in their life. So, I mean, you got to know your audience and just yeah. But no, other than that, I mean, I think Disney's done a great job with the franchise. I'm not really a big fan of movies that we'll get into later on, but yeah, you know.
Some of the like TV shows have been okay, not amazing,
Hmm.
but they have done a pretty good job. Like they've had some awesome shows, like and both Andor seasons are brilliant.
Hmm.
The Ahsoka show I enjoyed. It's been pretty solid. It's been better than the MCU shows at least.
Yeah, yeah. And then I think the thing that I think really was smart is that Disney really didn't capitalize on live action Star Wars things. They focused a lot on the cartoon side of things. So you had like the Clone Wars shows and stuff
Clone
like
Wars was
that.
huge for them.
It was massive. It was one of their biggest TV shows that I think that they had for like the longest time. So they were really smart when they came to approaching how they wanted to do this, continue on with this whole legacy because it is really a legacy of Star Wars at this point. It's not just a franchise. It's for generations. It's been there for generations and it's still going, which is crazy.
One last fun fact in terms of like legacy things too. So there was two actors that they used to portray the Darth Vader character. So
Yes.
James Earl Jones did the voice.
Mm-hmm.
David Prowse was the physical embodiment
Yeah.
of Vader in the suit.
Yes.
Did you know they didn't ever meet until 2012?
I did not
35
know
years
that.
after the film's release.
I did not know that. That's really interesting, though.
Until the merger, they had never met,
That's crazy.
like in person. Like they had never actually been in a room together, which is
That's
pretty nuts.
nuts. That is absolutely bonkers. I feel like there probably had to have been. I think I read somewhere where there was like some hostility between the two of them because the guy was like, I don't get enough recognition for being Darth Vader because nobody knows it's me, kind of thing.
Yeah, everyone
And
just thinks it's James Earl
James Earl
Jones.
Jones, and it's really that he was just the voice. That's it. So I kind of feel bad that that guy kind of just got forgotten about for the most part because you never really see him like ever, except for one scene. But get to that.
Yeah, that's not this movie.
Nope, it's a little later on, but yes, it's probably the only time he gets screen time, and it's like, wow, you went this long, and that's that's it. That's your big reveal.
So in terms of Star Wars Episode 4,
Yes.
history with the film, when did you first watch it? What are your big memories of Episode 4?
I watched this movie when the time I was like itty bitty. Like I was probably in diapers when I started watching Star Wars. My
Nerd alert.
uncle My uncle, he was extremely, he had a lot of health issues and things like that, but the one thing that grounded him was Star Wars. He was a big nerd, and so I used to watch Star Wars with him growing up when I was really, really little. I actually have it somewhere in the house. I refuse to get rid of it. I have a box collection of the original trilogy. It is like in a black.
Original cut?
Yes, original cut, and that I'm going to get to that in a second. So I have it is the original trilogy on VHS, and it is in a black box, and it has all three movie poster covers around the whole box. Um, and it irks me
Yeah,
having
that is
to.
the like expensive one. That's the
Yeah,
original cut. It's
yes,
expensive.
I
You can sell
have
that for a lot of
it.
money.
Well, it's open. It's been used. I probably couldn't get anything for
Doesn't
it, but
matter.
I refuse. I refuse to part with it. It is. It's in my mom's closet, I believe. Actually, I've moved 3 times now with it. And every time we go to move, she asks me if I'm going to purge it, and I tell her absolutely not. You can go away. I will die holding that if I had to. Um,
I say, if she wants you to purge it, don't just give it away.
I'm
Sell
not.
that shit.
I'm not purging it. So it irks me with the fact that I do not have a way of rewatching the original cut with what I
VHS,
grew
no.
up with, because I went out and I bought the the sets when they were released on Blu-ray. I bought the original trilogy, and I bought the original, or the episode 1 through 3 in the box collection. And the first time I watched it, I was mad. I was so mad watching it, because within like the first 20 minutes, 20 30 minutes, there were so many things that were added to it, and this remastered shenanigans to make it more, I guess, relatable to the times, or to just like what they feel enhanced it. It irked me so much.
Just
Like,
George has to change
oh,
shit all the time.
so my biggest gripe is the whole sequence, which was never in the original cut, which is Jabba the Hutt talking to Han Solo next to the Millennium Falcon. Like, Jabba was never there before, and the very first time I ever watched that, I go, "Is this what?" Like, I had so many
I
head
did
scratching moments.
I did watch that being like, I don't remember this scene. What the heck is this?
Yeah, there was not that. The random creatures that they travel on, like the stormtroopers that they're traveling on, I'm like, those are all added CG characters. Like, what? Why is this here? I I had so many like gripes when I had to rewatch this, and so now every time I go to rewatch it, I have to like hold my composure, because it just irritates me so much that I will never be able to actually watch the original cut anymore, probably, unless I find someone with a VCR, and I can pray to all the gods that the tape inside the VCR tape, or the VHS tapes, are not like going to disintegrate.
Looking on eBay, it's like anywhere between 50 and like 1500.
That's a lot. I feel like I would probably get like $50 for it, but I'm not going to part with them. I don't care unless somebody randomly wants to, like, offer me like a gigantic sum of money. I do have them available, and I can send pictures. But they're probably not going to go anywhere. And like I said, I'll be buried with them. I don't care.
Yeah. I think the problem is that there's literally so many of them, so it's like
Yeah.
it is possible to get them relatively cheap, but yeah, it's got seen them listed on eBay between $1 and $1,500, with sold items ranging between $10 to $350.
Yeah. No.
350 is probably like mint condition, never opened, but like,
Yeah.
well, if you get $100 for 3 VHSs, that's not bad.
It's not, but I refuse to part with them for that much money. Like, it's one of those, like, they have
At
sentimental
this point,
value
you
at
might as
this
well just
point.
hold on to them.
Yeah, they have like such sentimental value to me, because they were literally just like family. It's like almost like a family heirloom at this point. Like, my uncle passed away, they became mine, and then like when I kick the bucket, Chloe can have them. And I know she's probably gonna roll her eyes and be like, "This is your legacy that you're giving me," and I'm gonna be like, "Yes, yes, it is." But yeah, no, I hate watching the remastered versions of these. It irritates me. Like, it's just unnecessary.
I think that's what's most exciting about this 50th anniversary that's coming up.
Yes.
With the returning to the cinema.
Mm-hmm.
It's returning with the OG cut. It's not going
Which
to
is
be
fantastic.
this like third or fourth edition of the movies.
Yeah, because if you watch these like on Disney Plus, you're gonna get the regenerated or reimagined version of it, and it's crazy to me that that's a lot of people now in this in this day and age. That's the only way they've watched it is either on the Blu-ray, which is also the remastered cut, or they've watched it on Disney Plus. And I'm like, you guys have never really seen the true, authentic, original cut of this, and it's sad, kind of, because I honestly I miss the grainy kind of like style that the original cut had. I think it just gave it a more I don't know, nostalgic feel.
And I don't think it's this one. I think it's the next one. There's the whole Han shot first situation. And he definitely does in the originals. Not in the remasters.
I'm just going to tell you this. I adore you and I adore this franchise, but it really grinds my gears to have to rewatch these in this format. And I will never not shut up about that because it bothers me so much.
You could go and buy a VCR.
Yeah, and if I buy a VCR and I pop them in, it's probably going to melt because they're so old. They're just going to like disintegrate.
Might burn out the tapes.
Yeah, exactly. And good luck finding like a TV that's I'm gonna have to buy like an adapter, and people are gonna be like, "What's a VCR?"
Yeah, because even TVs don't have the plugs to put a VCR into anymore. What the hell?
We're old, Jamie. We are so old.
You'd have to buy one of the old tube TVs as well.
Oh my gosh, that's a big investment just to watch these.
And then lug that heavy ass thing around.
Yeah, and then hope to God that my movies don't get broken. I also have the Phantom Menace on VHS too, but I don't know if I still have that. I might have gotten rid of that one because it wasn't as special to me. But whatever. Because obviously I was little when Phantom Menace came out, but that was the first Star Wars movie that was released while I was born. So
unfortunately,
yeah, we're old.
And then, like, when I went back to rewatch this one, there was a few things that, like, immediately stuck out to me. The lasers, the way that they look is like, oh yeah, that's an immediate sign of the age of this movie. It's like, oh yeah, they look like crazy space lasers from the 70s. Not so much crazy space lasers of the mid-2020s.
Yeah.
The iconic Darth Vader boarding the ship happens much earlier than I remembered it. I always thought it was like halfway through the movie or towards the end, but it's like
it's the beginning,
the first scene.
Yeah, I always remembered it being the beginning.
Yeah, for some reason I was like, hey, that doesn't happen until like a good chunk into the movie.
Yeah,
it's right at the start, which is like weird because we're introduced to the villain before we ever see like the main heroes. Like we get Darth Vader, R2 and C-3PO we get relatively early. But we don't see Luke until 20 minutes into the movie.
Yeah.
When we get the theme song at the same time. But it's like, I guess if you don't count, like, you could almost consider Star Wars to be R2's story.
I guess so.
Because of how important he is to
the rebellion.
Moving all of the stories along.
Yeah, that's true. He's like the center.
Picture it as this is R2-D2's story of him basically being the key to solving this. Not Luke.
No.
Luke is an important tool in this story to defeat the Empire.
But he helps R2 get to his final destination.
R2's the one that does all the stuff that means you have what you need to do this.
R2 is like the Frodo Baggins of Star Wars.
Yeah, he's the one carrying the ring.
He's the one carrying the ring. And 3PO is Sam. Look.
Second breakfast?
Oh, look at me, just merging franchises together left and right. We really are. We alerted you all that we were nerdy, and this is just prime examples. Here's how we're going to mash all this up.
I feel like you just enraged a whole heap of nerds at that one.
I'm really sorry, nerd universe. But tell me, like, I don't feel like I'm really that wrong. I also, rewatching this, I don't remember the visuals of Luke's aunt and uncle's, like, disintegrated skeletons being that, detailed looking. Or, like...
Yeah, it's probably, like, 4K up-resed.
Yeah, because I feel like when I was growing up watching this, that it was just, like, a pile of rubble, and I wasn't able to really pick out the skeletons.
Like ash.
Yeah, now when I rewatch it, I'm like, oh, that's a whole skeleton that's right there.
Yeah,
just like
that is a seriously charred body.
Yeah. So I don't know if it's just the 4K upgrade or if I just wasn't paying attention when I was younger and just thought it was just a pile of rubble.
Yeah, nope, that's definitely a body in this one. In that too, when they have the scene with them eating, I think it's breakfast or something together. There's blue milk.
There is, and Jamie loves blue milk. Oh, Jamie loves it so much.
It's not good. It's not good.
Hey, at least I didn't make you try the green one. Like, we only tried one. We only tried the blue milk, and that was enough for us to be like, oh, we don't ever
Like,
need to try that again. It was an aesthetic thing. We had to do it for, like, the aesthetics
it's
of
the
it.
texture that's weird.
Because it's out of, I think, coconut milk, if I'm not mistaken.
Because
It's a non-dairy product.
It's not milk, but it's not soft drink or water. It's like this weird, like, gluey in between.
It's a weird consistency, and nothing is better than drinking blue milk after going on a mission on the Millennium Falcon and then going on Star Tours right afterwards to make Jamie really, really awfully sick.
Yeah, you were just trying to create a blue milk fountain, I think.
I was trying to give him the best experience possible in the galaxy, and so that's what happens.
Another thing I wrote down too is the use of wipe transitions.
Mm-hmm.
They use it a lot, and it like became like a iconic part of the Star Wars franchise too. Like they constantly use like, oh, wipe this way,
It's like
this bit.
yeah, it's like old school PowerPoint presentations.
Yeah,
It
and
works so well.
it's just funny because like they don't. It's not like, okay, this is our wipe. This is our what we do is we do a left to right.
Yeah.
Nope.
It's all
left to
over.
right. We're going to do an up to down. We're going to do a barn door. We're going to do close it back in. It's like,
Yep.
okay, we're just doing everything.
It's funny because most movies when they transition to different cuts they don't even have like a wipe cut. It's just you see one scene and then it's just a jump cut. This is just
wipe.
And on the other
it's
side of the galaxy,
it's so 70s.
it is. Like, meanwhile, our heroes are deep in thought.
I also wrote down that C-3PO is such a drama queen.
You leave 3PO alone. He's wonderful and he is justified in all of his actions.
They also talk. There's a conversation about the Clone Wars when Luke meets Obi-Wan.
Yes.
I can't remember if that was in like the OG or if that's an addition post the Clone Wars.
I've always known that line was in there. It's just been like a casual conversation. I don't think that they added it to there. As far as I know, like I always had questions about what the heck was a Clone War, and then
it makes sense. Like with then the anime came out, like the animated series, which was explaining it, and then we got the prequels, which explained it even more.
Yeah. And to be fair, I've never watched the animated series ever. And I feel like I'm kind of missing out. Everybody tells me it's super good.
It's just a lot.
Yeah, there's so many episodes and seasons, and I'm just like, that's a lot of commitment. I'm glad you're doing research.
There are 7 seasons.
Oh, good. And there's probably like 20 episodes a season.
So there's obviously the movie, and then there's season 1 to 4 are 22 episodes.
Yep.
Season 5 is 20. 6 is 13, and the final season, season 7, is 12.
Okay.
So
interesting.
133 episodes.
That's a lot for
minutes each.
For an animated series. That is a lot to commit to. That's like watching like.
It is a very highly regarded show, though. So.
Yeah, correct. And like I know that I feel like if I watched the animated series, I probably would have a better appreciation for the prequels. Maybe.
But I ain't doing it.
But I don't know if I really want to commit to that before we watch the prequels, because the prequels are going to be hard enough for me to get through as it is. Yeah. There's a reason we're starting at number 4. It's because number 4 through 6 are the only acceptable Star Wars movies in my head, and also it's how they were released, and it's how it should be.
7's not bad. 8 and 9, ugh, rough.
Trash.
And
that
Rogue One is good.
I actually love Rogue One. Rogue One is probably my favorite out of the new revamped Star Wars legacy that's come out after the original franchise.
Which annoys me why you haven't watched Andor, because it is Rogue One.
For the record, I attempted to watch Andor twice, and I fell asleep both times watching it because I was bored out of my mind. I'm
it's
sorry.
The prequel to Rogue One.
I said what I said. I'm sorry. I do enjoy Mandalorian, and I wasn't even a big Boba Fett person. I just really like Grogu. I think he's adorable. And then I think there was like another one with like kids or something like that, that my mom actually started to watch. I don't remember what it was. It came after Mando though and stuff. I don't remember what it was. But my mom doesn't is not a Star Wars fanatic, and she's actually watched Mandalorian because she thought Grogu was really cute too.
Is she
So
excited for the Mandalorian and Grogu movie?
she is. It remains to be seen because I don't know if she knows about it yet, and she probably won't go and watch it. I forced her. I think I
It
forced her
looks
to
real bad.
even.
It looks real bad.
I think I forced her to go and see the last Star Wars movie that came out. I know she was really mad during episode 7 or not. She was mad with the new franchise, we'll put it that way. Like she was very angry with the new franchise and she swore off all Star Wars movies after watching the last 3 movies that came out. Um
7 was good. It was 8 that really created the problems.
yeah, she's just
And then 9 tried to fix them and kind of made it worse.
yeah, there's no saving it. But yeah, she's my mom grew up watching the original franchise. I mean, it came out in 77. I think my mom graduated around that time frame. Yeah, not dating her or anything. But yeah, so it's been a big part of like our whole lives, and Chloe grew up watching it. Same thing. I raised her watching the original franchise, and she never. I don't think she's even watched the prequels. Actually, now that I think about it, I don't think she's
Lucky
ever
kid.
seen the prequels. I kind of feel bad that I've neglected to let her watch that, but she's never. I don't think she's ever watched them. And then yeah, because I said the word Jar Jar Binks, and she was like, "Who?" And I go, "Yeah, you don't have to worry about
Mr.
it."
Jaja.
So yeah, she's watched the originals, and then she watched 7, 8, and 9 because she was very big into Star Wars at that time, and so they were releasing as she was getting older and growing up. So I felt
Yeah.
dedicated or obligated to take her.
A couple of my other notes is that the space scenes, I think, still hold up really well
Oh yeah.
in this one because it's all practical
Mm-hmm.
images.
Yeah,
It's
I love
not
it.
CG, so it looks great still.
And that's what I'm like. Practical effects are so underrated, and like I get everything is easier to just go on a computer and design an entire galaxy and call it a day, or an entire like planet and call it a day. But you don't get the feel of it, and it just doesn't look good after a while because technology is always increasing. So what looked really cool with graphics, 10 years ago, looks like crap now. Whereas practical effects are always going to just look the same and they're always going to look really great.
Attention, trading card collectors! Are you ready to take your collection to the next level? Dive into the action with the limited edition Australian wrestling card, showcasing the most electrifying talents Australia has to offer. Imagine owning cards featuring legends such as Robbie Eagles, Shazza McKenzie, Shane Hayes, Madison Eagles, and many, many more. But that's not all. You'll also snag cards of the iconic referees, commentators, and announcers, just like me, Lord Andy Coyne, to truly capture the spirit of Australian independent wrestling. And as our homegrown talent continues to dominate the world stage, Ozrest cards are destined to become hot commodities. Not only will you be owning a valuable piece of wrestling history, but you'll also be supporting the amazing wrestlers and talented photographers behind the magic. So don't wait! Grab your Australian wrestling cards now at pariomagazine.com.au/Ozres cards. Order today and kickstart your collection with a bang!
I also have down here that they refer to the Force as kind of a religion, which was really cool. That was a cool concept.
Yes.
If only they had kept it that way and not ruined it with the prequels, which we will discuss in
Yeah.
4 months from now.
Yeah. There's a lot of things that I wish they had done with certain things with this franchise that they haven't done yet, and I don't know if they'll ever actually do it. But we'll get to that later when other characters are introduced. Yeah, I have a lot of opinions on certain characters that I feel need to be either introduced to the franchise or just looked at better.
In terms of like the space portrayals as well, I thought the depiction of lightspeed travel, did Star Wars basically like pioneer that? Like now anytime I see lightspeed travel, it's basically this scene where they hit it into hyperdrive and then the stars become dots and turn into lines.
Yeah,
It's like, yeah, that's pretty much how everyone does it now.
because even in Guardians, when they're like, and Rocket's like, punch it, let's go. It's like it's very similar concepts when they're traveling through different space times and stuff. I think that Star Wars paved the way for a lot of sci-fi, like future sci-fi franchises, and the way that sci-fi films are done in general.
And then also like in the Force stuff, I loved the Force mind trick on the these aren't the droids we're looking for.
Mm-hmm.
Like all of that stuff is so cool in this one and the next two.
Mm-hmm.
And then in the prequels, it becomes about the midichlorians and all of this like sciencey shit. And I'm like, well, it was really cool when it was a religion and spiritual and like
Yeah, when
magic-y.
it's right, yeah, when it was connected with your own energies and like what you put out into the universe literally, and it's giving it back to you, and now it's a little different. They portray it a little bit differently, and it kind of ruins that whole concept. And I feel like that's probably why it's hard for some people to watch the original trilogy and then go back and watch the prequels, because it irritates people and it annoys them to no end. But then people who watch the original, like who watch them in chronological order, are like even just as confused probably, because they're like, wait a second, what do you mean it's something you feel, and you just gotta feel it, like that's not right. So
And it's not like it's not like they can claim it's like, oh, it was science. It was a science understanding.
mhm.
And then it's been 50, 60, 100 years.
Yeah,
And it's kind of the sciencey part has disappeared from knowledge and it's now become like this more hearsay, secondhand knowledge lore type thing of like, oh, it's this mysterious religious force.
yeah,
Because Darth is alive still.
yeah.
It's been like 20 years. It's not long enough for that to have happened.
No,
It's not 3 generations removed.
yeah, it'd be very different if this was
not a
like
myth.
eons later and stuff like that, but it's not.
Yeah, if the prequels were in the Old Republic era, and then this was in the High Republic era, it would make a
Different.
lot more sense, where it was like this big generational time gap and it's
Yes.
become this myth. Nope, it's 20 years at most later.
It's a lot. And then the last franchise that came out just kind of even added more confusion to everybody's brains, and they were just like, wait a second, now what are you trying to tell us? So there's so many other questions that aren't answered. We've got scrolls, and we've got books, and we've got temples, and where did all this come into?
And then like in the sequel trilogy as well, they lean more into the aesthetics as well. Like the Empire are very Nazi Soviet inspired in their outfits.
Yes.
And like you see glimpses of that in this one. But yeah, in the
Prequels.
sequel trilogy, it's really right there,
Yeah.
real heavily.
Yeah.
And like Andor, it's really
It's
in
really
your face in
true.
Andor,
Yeah.
especially season 2. It's like,
Oh,
I
okay.
get it. it's I get it.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know how they get from like I mean, I guess, it's however George Lucas really wrote it all out and stuff like that, and in his mind how it all worked and played well, but I don't know how I don't think that he saw this franchise really going where it went to back in the 70s when he originally came up with these ideas and this world building.
It's also it's like super weird that they started with episode 4.
4. Well, and then what's even crazier is too is I was recently in like a used bookstore. I did not realize how many books are in this Star Wars universe, literal
The
universe.
expanded universe.
Yeah, there's so
When
many
Disney
books.
bought it, they cut them off. They're not canon anymore.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because there was other books that came out too, like right after there's an Ahsoka book and stuff like that came out too. But yeah, I saw like a ton of these like paperback, like I don't know, maybe 400-page
Novels.
like little books or whatever. Yeah, and I was like, where did all these come from? And like, what is all this? I almost felt compelled to read some of them at this point. So maybe that'll be a goal for this year. To try
I
and
have
do some of
heard that the Star Wars expanded universe, like some of those novelizations that came out in and around this original trilogy,
Yeah.
are very good and like give you lots of insights into fleshing out this universe and giving you more details on how this led to that and whatnot that happened in the movies.
Yeah.
But yeah, when Disney bought it, they
Sliced
cut that.
it.
It's not officially canon anymore. They have taken like bits and pieces from those and incorporated it into the series and the the sequel trilogy and stuff.
Yeah,
But
because
not the whole lot. So there are some cool things in those books, but they're kind of Star Wars adjacent now.
yeah, which is kind of crazy and killer because I have a feeling that the characters that I would like to see come to light are stuck in that universe, and Disney will not touch them with a 10-foot pole, which is slightly irritating to me. But whatever. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'll pick them up. They were like $2 or $3 a piece, and I was like, oh, that doesn't for a used book. I drop some money on those. Why not? Waste some time or whatever. So I don't know. Maybe I'll dive into that or something. I am kind of afraid to because if I end up really liking it, then I'm going to be really mad if if nothing's canon anymore and nothing makes sense after watching
It's
the
just in this
original.
own little silo off to the side of like,
Yeah, I'm
that's
gonna.
such a cool Star Wars story, but it's never going to go anywhere. God damn it.
Yeah, you're gonna see like a pinboard behind me, like a conspiracy theory pinboard with all these like lines and yarn all over the place. Like this person's connected to that, and this happened here. Yeah, that's what'll happen to me.
In terms of those like funny alternate universe conspiracy theory pinboard things, watching this, I also remembered that it's funny because Luke says, "Oh no, I'm just going to go back to Uncle Owen and Aunt Beru, and we're just going to get through this next season."
Mm-hmm.
And then when they go back, they find out that, like you said, they are just charred remains now.
Yeah.
So basically, Darth like screwed himself because if
Yeah.
they hadn't killed them,
He
Luke
wouldn't have
never
done
would have
anything.
joined the rebellion,
Yeah.
and then the Death Star never would have been destroyed.
Yeah.
It's like he toppled. It's like the meme of like, push over this little domino and then this crazy thing happens over here.
Yeah. Yeah. It was just a horrible domino effect. Like he literally could have avoided that entire issue if he had just left the auntie and uncle alone, but he just could not.
Yeah, he could have just gone there and visited them and been like, oh, he's not here. And then been like,
Hey.
okay, well, we'll go find him.
How's it going, everybody? The farm going good? How's your crops doing? Okay, the person I'm looking for is not here. They really shot himself in the foot with that, which is better than stormtroopers because they still can't shoot anything. Oh, let me just talk about this.
I got a line about that too that I wrote down.
Oh boy,
It's funny when they come across the wreckage of the Jawas vehicle,
little thing. Yeah.
and they say only stormtroopers are this precise and accurate. No, they're not.
That's
They
hilarious.
are not accurate at all. They're
No.
useless.
Can we just talk about too the trash compactor scene, because that scene was traumatizing to me as a child, and it is still traumatizing to me as an adult now. I've never thought I was claustrophobic until I watched that scene as a kid, and I've realized how claustrophobic I would be in that situation, and also the weird thing in the trash compactor that like tries to drown Luke. I'm so mad that I never got to see anything further than an eyeball pop out of the ground with that, because I feel like that would have been a really epic monster to have as a side quest in this movie for them. Because it's just like a
think they
worm
show
thing. It's
There's
just,
something like that in episode 7, isn't there?
I don't remember because I try to pretend episode 7, 8, and 9 don't exist. So,
Yeah. I think there is something like that in episode 7 because it's basically just this one remade.
yeah, I don't remember a lot about 7, to be fair. It came out so long ago, and I was really hyped for it, and then I was really disappointed with the whole trilogy, so I've kind of like erased it from my mind. But yeah, that whole scene just makes me like laugh, but also still like be uncomfortable when I'm watching it happen.
The other iconic scene is obviously the Mos Eisley cantina and the band. That's always a fun scene as well.
Yes, yeah, it is. And there are parts of that I are kind of like I get foggy about, like when they initially talk to Han and Chewie. There are parts of that scene that I'm just like, did that really happen before? Because I don't remember it being as long as it was. I remember it being a very short sequence. But again, ages ago since I've watched the original cut, so who knows?
And then he kills Greedo.
Mm-hmm.
And it's funny too. There's a funny, like, such a nerdy thing when he talks about how the Millennium Falcon, he's the only pilot that could do the Kessel Run in 12 parsecs.
Mm-hmm.
A parsec is a unit of distance, not speed or time.
Nerd.
Yep.
I'm glad you're correcting the 70s right now.
It's just so funny. Like, he says it and everyone's like, that's like saying I could drive to Sydney in 12 kilometers. Like, no, what? No.
No, I can't. I can't do that.
That's distance, not time. What are you talking about?
I love that. That's hilarious.
But Han, too, in this movie is less of a hero than I have him framed in my mind as well. Like, there's a scene where he says to Leia, we need to avoid more female advice. I'm like, well, that's kind of chauvinistic and kind of rude.
I think I think in your head you want Han to be like more of a hero because later on in the movies, like I feel like your most iconic Han sequence probably is when like he saves Luke and shoves him in a tauntaun in the Arctic. Like, yes, that is a very iconic, heroic Han moment. But he
And
really is.
in the sequel trilogy, which is probably the one I've watched the most recently,
Mm-hmm.
he is much more heroic in that.
Yeah, but I feel like that's
But in this one, he is very much all about Han.
yeah, because
Everyone else can piss off.
he's a smuggler, he's a bounty hunter, and like he's in it for himself. Like he just wants money. And I've never seen Solo, so I don't know how his character is portrayed in the early years of Chewie and Han being together. But yeah, I feel like it's pretty on point, like the way that he acts throughout this whole original trilogy. And then I feel like because he's more grown up in the later on trilogy, and he's obviously like him and Leia have gone through stuff together. I feel like it probably just matured him more, and he's like more of like
Yeah, he definitely softened.
So, yeah, he's less self-absorbed. But
yeah, like there's just that line where he goes, "Oh, we need to avoid more female advice." I was like, "Whoa, holy cow!"
Yeah, he's
very
a jerk.
70s, very
Yeah.
70s language.
He does a lot of he does really underhanded remarks to Leia, and she's still just like, "No, buddy," but then yes, buddy, kind of thing.
Let's also not give her a pass either. She's kind of mean to Chewie. Don't be mean to my boy Chewie. She calls him a walking carpet.
I mean, she's not wrong.
Yeah, she's not wrong, but he's also cool.
I love Chewie, but he's not my favorite character in this whole franchise. We will get to my favorite character. No, I'm not doing it. No, I'm not doing it. You can't. No, I'm not doing it.
Voice. It's also funny, like you mentioned, there's that kind of weird, flirtatious love triangle between Luke, Leia, and Han.
Yep, and that's just gross.
Ooh, that gets a bit dodgy at the end.
It's dodgy in general.
It's funny when you see how the Han Leia relationship develops in subsequent movies.
Yeah.
But like, yeah.
Like looking
Also
back.
really weird when you find out the familial ties.
Yeah, it's real awkward after watching the whole original trilogy, and then Leia is like, it gives Luke a kiss, and she's like, "Oh, for luck." I'm like, "Oh, please no."
Yeah.
That's just.
I would have loved to have been around when these movies were coming out and people were like, "Oh, it's so cool, they're gonna like fall in love, and then that's gonna be like the whole story arc," and then like the third one comes out and go, what the what?
Yeah, the episode 3.
Like, there would have been so many couples dressed up as Han and Leia for like Halloween and all of these sort of things, and like going to the premieres, and then like imagine going as like a couple to the Star Wars Episode 6 premiere, midnight screening, first night, dressed as Han and Leia, and then you sit there and find that out and go, what? What?
Yeah, episode 6. I almost said 3 because in my head it's still 3. But yes, episode 6 is my favorite Star Wars movie of all time. My favorite character is in that and is introduced. And I'm yeah.
Okie dokie.
Oh yeah, you'll find out. It's fantastic. Yeah, and it's not Chewie because obviously Chewie's been shown already. But yeah, it's great.
I thought your favorite character was Misa Jar Jar.
No, Jar Jar Binks can take a flying leap off of a really short bridge for all I care. I wish that character had never existed. I wish that into the universe every day. That the world had never had to be introduced to that abomination.
I'm an R2 guy.
I mean, you are Brainiac. I'm surprised you're not a 3PO person. You're like all about brainy, nerdy things.
He's a whiny little crybaby bitch.
Wow, sounds familiar. You sound like a little whiny crybaby bitch.
I wish that squadron leader helmet fit me at Star Wars.
Oh man, we should put that like as one of these like yeah, we should definitely throw that up there during the sequence in the podcast episode that airs on
It
YouTube
was
because
it
it's
was far too small.
fantastic. It
Far
was
too
not
small for
you.
my fat head.
You wore it well. I think I actually have that picture printed out at my desk.
Oh, God. Yeah, I got it on. I struggled to get it off. And
Dude,
it
the
hurt my
fact
head a
we
lot.
were very concerned that you were gonna have to wear that through TSA going home because it just wasn't coming off.
Yep. And it hurt a lot. But
It's fantastic. Still didn't get to make
ready
your
for Gold
lightsaber
Beater.
either. Sorry about
Also, I
that.
didn't have. That's expensive. That's an expensive experience.
Yeah, that was a really expensive experience.
And then you see families walking around with like 3 of them and 2 droids. I'm like, holy cow.
Yeah, I thought your eyes were gonna pop out your head when you found out how much it was to build a lightsaber with the experience, and then how much it was to build a droid with the experience. It's kind of a sticker shock when you're not prepared for that. I was prepared for that, but
Yeah. But then you
Other-
walk out of there and you see the like, oh, here's a dad walking around with 2 lightsabers on his back and 2 boxes of droids. And the kids are running around driving their droids and in robes and everything. I'm like, you spent a lot of money because you also bought tickets to get in here.
yeah, that's the whole thing. Like when you walk around those parks, and especially in the Star Wars area, that's how I can tell Disney's not hurting for anything because
No.
the amount of money
That's
that
why
is
they
walking around there.
That Galactic
insane.
Star Cruiser thing, they could have literally charged $50 and they'd have been fine because people would go in there and they'd buy outfits, they'd buy food, they'd buy like lightsabers and droids. Like they would have made money on it.
I think the other
The
problem
rooms could have been cheap as chips.
Yeah, I think the problem that they also had with that is that they were trying to create the first immersive hotel where you were not supposed to leave. And the problem with that is the majority of people coming here, they've never the handful of
They
people
want to
that-
go to. They want
yeah,
to
they
go
want
to
to go to the
Hollywood
parks
Studios.
because the majority of the families that are coming here, it's a once in a lifetime opportunity for them to come here. It's not every day that they come. So the fact that you were trying to create a hotel and cater to people who are seasoned Disney veterans, but you're putting a price tag on it that is only for elite visitors, it's not going to work very well. And the idea and concept of it was really cool. But again, when you're coming to a place for the first time, the last thing you want to do is be stuck in a hotel where you're not supposed to leave. You're just supposed to experience everything in that one location.
It's funny that like they could have still made it like this immersive experience, and just had like a dedicated shuttle bus that was like battle cruiser like themed,
Yeah.
where they take you on it, you get in it, and then they drive you to like a separate entrance that drops you straight into Star Wars land, and then if you exit there, that's fine.
Yeah.
But like, it could have been like that. They could have done that, but they no, we didn't want to do that.
Yeah, it was kind of a rushed project, and it's just I don't know. I'm kind of sad that it didn't go as well as it could have, but at the same time, I don't feel like they're hurting from it as much. Like I know they took a big loss, but they've done such other things. So where they failed with that, they've really incorporated it onto their cruise ships now. So they
It
have
makes more sense on a cruise ship
yes,
because
they
you are literally in a
there.
contained space.
Yeah, so they have like a Star Wars themed bar on one of the ships. I believe one of the kids clubs that they have for like certain age ranges, they have it where like there's different creatures in like cages that they can like go and examine and stuff like that. So I was watching there's a documentary actually on Disney Plus about Making the Wish, which is one of the bigger ships. And yeah, the kids can see like a porg that's like in an enclosure and they can like, read about it and stuff like that. So I think them doing that is a lot smarter and it was definitely a better route to go than just trying to make this hotel thing a thing. Really,
Is that
I think
like
if they
a
go,
full Star Wars themed cruise?
I don't know if I thought they did Star Wars at Sea, if I'm not mistaken, at one point, which was essentially Star Wars weekends on a cruise ship. So they have like a couple different themed ones. Like they had Marvel at Sea at one point, but now they've just incorporated Marvel like bars and restaurants on the cruise ships. But ages ago,
That's silly. Like they have all of these Disney ships. Just theme them in franchises.
yeah. So
Have a
like,
Marvel ship. Have a Star Wars ship. Have a Disney princess ship.
I think eventually that's probably what they're going to lean to because the new ship Destiny that just came out is very heroes versus villains, if I'm not mistaken, on the theme. So like in I'm not like, I haven't been on a Disney cruise in ages. It's on a bucket list thing of mine. But yeah, so I think that they're really smart with just including this immersive experience on those boats, because people are going there with that intention of, ooh, I want to book that ship. Like, for instance, I want to go on, I believe it's the Dream, the Disney Dream. That's the one that has the Haunted Mansion themed bar. That's what sold me on that. I would go on that boat only for that. So yeah, there are people that will just go on the boat that has like a Star Wars themed thing, or people that would go on just the Marvel theme. So it is really smart for them to do that. I feel like if they were to revisit a hotel later on, they might just do a different idea. Like, there are so many different hotels on property that have different themes. So I don't know why they tried to do this immersive experience thing, other than the fact that they were just like, oh, maybe we could get some money out of this. But
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't
Like, it
know.
just seems like the ships makes the most sense. Like, you have a Star Wars one, you could have a Marvel one, you could have an Indiana Jones one.
Yeah, I
Like, you
think
could theme them that way. Like, obviously, the smaller franchises like Haunted Mansion, like the one-off
it.
things,
Yeah,
it's a
it's
little
smart
bit
to just
harder
do
to
it.
do.
Mm-hmm.
But you can have just like, here's the Disney one, which is a bit of everything.
Yeah.
But then you could have this one is nothing but Star Wars. This one is nothing but Marvel. This one is just Disney princesses.
Yeah, which is, it's cool. It's a smart idea, and I think that they'll probably, and I wouldn't be surprised if they end up looking at it, because it started out where they had Star Wars at sea, and then they had Marvel at sea. They do the Halloween on the high seas. They do Christmas themes on the seas. And then I think at least once on every cruise, they do a pirate themed night, if I'm not mistaken, where you're supposed to
Oh
dress
yeah,
in
because
pirate attire. They own pirates. So
they own Pirates of the Caribbean.
yeah,
There's a
so
whole nother one. There's a Pirates of the
yeah,
Caribbean boat,
yeah. So
which
it's
would be
just
awesome, especially if they got like an older ship and like put like had like masts and stuff, and
yeah.
a
I
pirate thing would
think
want to be sick.
they're definitely coming up in the world with the cruising experience. I think that if they were to take one of their older ships that's like the smaller ones, and maybe instead of trying to build a brand new one from scratch with this theme, they could probably test it out on the older ships in the fleet. If they go to refurbish them or like rehab them or something like that, they could easily just like take the three original ships or the two original ships and just theme them to something different and see if it actually works. But yeah, I think it'd be great because yeah, so Star Wars weekends used to be at Hollywood Studios before Galaxy's Edge was ever a thing. It used to be an entire, like, they had like the 501st, which is like the local stormtrooper league over here.
Legion,
uh,
yeah.
Legion, yeah, they had them come through. They would have like an entire dedicated parade. It was insane. The park was at max capacity all the time, and everything was just Star Wars themed everywhere. And then that is what I think led Disney eventually to be like, oh, we could capitalize on this so well, and they brought out Galaxy's Edge. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I think I got to take Chloe to Star Wars weekends before it was dead in the ground. Don't quote me on that, but I think I got to take her to one of the last years that they had it.
Um, yeah, and then in April next year, Star Wars Celebration, which obviously is going to be the big one, the 50-year anniversary one,
Yes.
is in LA at the LA Convention Center from April 1st to April 4th. That's going to be a big one, I think. Like,
That's really funny that you say
LA,
that.
you're going to probably have Mark Hamill and all of these people like there enjoying it. Like, it's just going to be a crazy experience. I think that'll be super cool to go to.
So, side note, because I'm getting carried away and I know this. So I have this. It is my, it is a name tag, and it's got my home planet Endor on it. When I was working at Disney, it was before I actually got hired with them. I was working at one of the merchandise locations in the park. I had a couple who came by, and they went to the Star Wars celebration, that was happening here. And, it was number 6. Yeah. So I was talking to them, and we just got talking, whatever. And they were like, oh, what's your name? And they wrote it down, and they were like, we're going to get you a name tag. And I was like, okay, cool, whatever. I never thought anything of it. Literally 3 months later, this thing arrived in my mailbox addressed to me. And
cool.
I was freaking out. I was like, you've got to be kidding me. So yeah, this was from literally 2012. And I was so over the moon about it, but this is like my favorite name tag in my entire life. And the fact that I didn't even have to work for it, like some couple was just like super rad and was like, oh yeah, we'll get you one.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So as we close out, Star Wars Episode 4, A New Hope, what would you rate this one out of 5?
Oh, this is a classic, so it's a 5. Duh. Like, I'm not gonna crap on things. It's the foundation of like the Star Wars franchise for me. Like you've got so many iconic things that came out of it. And without this, there would be no anything anymore, in my opinion. Like you wouldn't have the prequels, the sequels, or the success of the rest of the franchise, really.
Yeah, so I gave this one a 4 out of 5 because I can't remember which one. 5 or 6 is definitely better for me. I think 5.
6 is the best, but they're all probably going to be 5 in my opinion.
Yeah. So I left some room to go up because I know I really enjoyed the next two. And then I left plenty of room to go down.
Oh, there's always room to go down in this entire world.
But yeah, so we'll be back in February for Star Wars Episode 5 to
5.
review that one. Otherwise, thank you for listening to the commentary booth. If you enjoyed the show, please remember to rate, review, and subscribe on podcast services and on YouTube. You can follow Corrina on Instagram at Miss Corrina Renee, and where else?
And at living_dead_books. I have an arc coming up that's due before the end of this month. The new book in the Lord series, Chaotic, is going to be coming out. So that comes out on the 9th, and I will be getting a copy of that because Books A Million just released the art for their special edition. So yeah, there's going to be that. But fun fact, I'm going to be venturing out of all dark romance books, and I will be trying to go into other genres of books this year. I have an A to Z list that I've got to fill out. So we're going to see a bunch of random stuff coming out this year.
You've got 2 coming up?
Yeah. Be good. I'm excited.
Brilliant. And then you can follow me on social media at JamieUpsMedia and at Pario Magazine.